Hi everyone, Sumit Chandra this side, and I welcome you to our channel SolutionBridgeNetwork and one-stop solution for all your Power Platform tutorials. In this video, we will discuss about three most important time intelligence functions of Power BI. These are same period last year, parallel period, and DATEADD. First, we will discuss these three functions individually. What is the use of these functions? When we need to use those functions? What will be the use case to use these functions? And how these functions different from each others? So let me open Power BI desktop and discuss about these three functions in details. In this report, I have created one matrix and now here we have year and net sales. Net sales is a simple measure that I created. So this is coming from global superstore table and we are adding sales. This is the simple measure that I use for net sales. And apart from this, I have added a date filter here. Here you can see the syntax of these three functions that we discuss in this video. Before discussing these functions, let me show you the data model as well. In the model view, now we will use two tables, that is our global superstore table. This is the fact table and we will use calendar table. Apart from this, we have country and user table as well. So this is the simple data model of this report. Let me go to report view. So first we need to understand same period last year. Let me open the Power BI documentation, then we will implement it in this report. This is the Microsoft documentation for same period last year. As per documentation, this function will returns a table that contains a column of dates shifted 1 year back in time from the dates in the specified dates column in the current context. And this is the syntax. Same period last year, dates. Let me go to Power BI desktop and create this measure. Now let's create a new measure. Our measure name should be same period last year. We need to use same period last year within calculate function. So let me type calculate. In expression, I'll call the measure net sales. And in filter context, I'll use same period last year. In dates, we need to call the date column from calendar table. We have our calendar table and dates. Then press enter. So this is the final DAX that we need to create for same period last year. Now let me pull this in our matrix. Here we are getting decimal number. So let me select whole number so that we can get the whole number. On the result, you can see this is our net sales for 2012 and here we are getting the sales of 2011. So by using this function, you able to find the value of previous year. Now, if we change the current context from year to month, let me show how it works. So I remove year from rows and let me go to calendar table and select year month. You can see from January 2011 to December 2011, we don't have any result. If we scroll down from January 2012 onwards, we are getting values. In January 2012, in same period last year, we are getting the value of January 2011. Even if we change the year month to day level, it will work. So now I remove year month and let me pull date. You can see the sales for 1st January 2011 is 809. Now let me scroll it. We have this value in 1st January 2012. 314, we are getting this value in 2nd January 2012. So if we go up and see, we have these sales in 2nd January 2011. By using these functions, you will get the value of last year irrespective of year, month, quarter or day. So if your current contest is on year, you will get the value of last year. If your current contest is quarter, you will get the value of last quarter. Even it will work on month and day level. Now let me remove date and pull year again. Next we will discuss about parallel period. Let me open the documentation again. So here we need to go to parallel period. This is the documentation of parallel period. Parallel period will returns a table that contains a column of dates that represent a period parallel to the dates in the specified dates column in the current contest, with the dates shifted a number of intervals either forward in time or back in time. This is the syntax of this function: dates, number of intervals, and intervals. Now let's move to Power BI desktop. I click on measure table, new measure. Measure name will be parallel period. Here also we'll use parallel period within calculate formula. So let's use calculate. In expression we'll call the net sales measure. In filter context we'll type parallel period. In dates we'll take the date column from calendar table. In interval, for now I put -1, and here either you need to select month, quarter or year. So for now I select year. So it will give us the result 1 year back. So we'll get the sales of previous year. Let me put enter. Let's select the visual and call this measure as well. Let me format this. Now you are getting the same result in same period last year and parallel period based on the current contest. But we'll get different result. Let me change the current contest. So instead of year, now let me select year month. In same period last year, we are getting the values of January 2011 here. But here in parallel period, we are getting the net sales of 2011. That's why you can see the values are same from January 2012 to December 2012. Let me change this parallel period measure from year to month. Once you change the measure, you will get bit different result. Now this will gives us the value of previous month. So in February 2011, we are getting the value of January 2011. If you want to see previous 2 month value or 3 month value, here you need to adjust it -1 to -2 or -3. Even if you wanted to see the next month value, you need to put the number without minus. And you need to adjust it. Either you need to select month, quarter or year. So if you change the current contest, it will not adjusted automatically as per same period last year. So this is the difference between same period last year and parallel period. Now we will discuss about the third function, that is DATEADD. Let me show you the Microsoft documentation first. This is the Microsoft documentation for DATEADD function. DATEADD function returns a table that contains a column of dates shifted either forward or backward in time by the specified number of intervals from the dates in the current contest. This is the syntax of DATEADD. So you can see the syntax of DATEADD and parallel period is similar. Now let me show the use case in Power BI desktop and understand these functions. After that, we'll discuss the difference between DATEADD and parallel period. Let me go to measure table and type this DAX. Here I'll type date add in the measure name, and let's use calculate again. Let's call the net sales measure, and in filter context we'll use date add. In date add we need to define dates, number of intervals and intervals. So in date we'll call calendar table date field. In number of intervals we are typing -1. In intervals, here you can define day, month, quarter or year. For now I define month. Let's close the bracket and press enter. Let me change the formatting to whole number. Now let me call date add measure in the visual. So we need to select the visual and call this measure. So you can see we are getting the same result in parallel period and date add. In the syntax, we have one difference in parallel period and dated. In dated, you can define days as well. In parallel period, we need to select either year, quarter, or month. Now, we'll discuss the difference between parallel period and dated. To show you the difference, let me modify these two DAX. I select parallel period and instead of month, here I'll select year in interval. And again we'll do the same changes in dated as well. So I select the dated measure and instead of month here I will select year, and from the visual we just remove year month and instead of year month we will use year only. You can see in the current context we are getting the same result. Now instead of year, if we select year month, so let me show you how it works. So in formula, we selected year in both parallel period and dated. But you can see in dated, in January 2012, we are getting the net sales of January 2011. But in parallel period, we are getting the sales of 2011. That's why we are getting the same number from January to December 2012, and we'll get different numbers from January 2013 onwards. So this is the same difference that we discussed in same period last year and parallel period, and here we have the same difference in parallel period and dates. Now we'll discuss another difference between these two functions. So let me remove year month and again let me call year. As per the current context, the result is same. Now, in the slicer, instead of 1st January 2011, if I change the start date to 1st March 2012, parallel period returns the net sales of entire 2011. In dated, it adjusted the dates. So we'll get the values from 1st March 2011 to 31st December 2011. That's why the net sales is lesser than as compared to parallel period. Let us know in our comment section if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. Subscribe our channel, hit the like button and press the bell icon for the new video alerts.